Everybody just say, wah, wah. Wah, wah. Yes, I'm getting one step closer to Beyonce.
Hey.
Shantae, so I want to talk to you because within your organization, similarly, you saw an opportunity to start a young professionals network. So tell us about why you started that and spearheaded that project and how it's been. Well, give us the tea, girl. Yes.
Okay, so I mentioned that I work as a risk analyst at an investment firm. So in regards to my role, it focuses on people, processes, and technology. And what I learned based on my assessment of people at the organization was that there was a big gap between the baby boomers and the young professionals that were coming into the environment. So what was happening was, because many people grew up with this particular firm, that everyone at the top were really good friends, but everyone that was coming in that was new to the organization didn't really know each other. We didn't really have a network of how we can connect across the department and how can we help each other and advance our careers. So what I did strategically was I found out who the influencers were in the organization, because when I was in the organization, I was probably there only about 6 months. And I kind of collaborated with the influencers. And so what I did was I just put a bug in their ear and say, hey, wouldn't it be nice if, the young people had a professional network? What do you think of that idea? And they were like, it's a great idea. And prior to this, I worked at Vanguard. They always told me that the best way to influence is to let people think that it's their idea.
Ooh,
so that's pretty much what I did. So everyone was like, oh, that's a great idea. So we kind of the higher ups presented that information. We talked about how much value that it would add to the organization, and we launched the Young Professional Network.
Awesome. That's amazing. So, for someone and how long have you been at your current firm?
Less than 4 years.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you've been at your firm for less than 4 years. Anybody want to guess how long Kenny has been at the Phillies?
But close though, believe it or not.
You're like, by the afro, by the shape of it. Kenny. And then, Shantae, I just want to talk to you a little bit about, similar to Justin, just navigating. You're in a certain type of career, you're in a male-dominated industry, I would say. How do you navigate that? What skill do you use to stay resilient in that type of organization?
Resilience. How do I stay resilient? Good question. So it pretty much just kind of goes back to, you kind of mentioned this earlier in regards to just really knowing yourself and knowing your brand. So because I know, I'm very confident in who I am, and in order for me to stay resilient, like when things are coming in many different directions, like for example, just getting feedback, I work across many departments. It's pretty much like a matrix management system. Anyone kind of familiar with matrix management?
Matrix, I saw the movie.
Matrix management is when you have a core manager, but then you're working with different managers. So it's just like, you just have many different managers that you're working with. So I get feedback from many different directions, and it's all funneled through their own perception. So I have to really know myself and really assess the feedback and filter that information that I can take in with me. So that's kind of how I develop resilience. And another thing is I just ask tons of questions. I think my brand at work is the person that just asks way too many questions. So when they see me coming, they're immediately, okay, let me get all my facts together. Shantae's coming. I have to really understand everything because she's going to hound me for questions. So just in regards to my resilience, I just want to be known as just the person that really knows herself very well, and someone who just asks a lot of questions, learn as much as I can, like a sponge. And that's kind of how I keep that resilience.
Yes. So this is the last question I want to ask everybody. I want you to give your rapid, depending on how fast or slow we go, I may have a follow-up. So I think that hindsight is 2020. How many have had that experience where if I could have done that again? I think the dumbest thing that I've heard, the bit of advice that I've heard is learn through failure. I'm like, who wants to learn through failure? That's the long way. I want you to fail, and then I want to step over you. I'll be back. And I think understand a lot of times our generation has been sort of, learn through failure, you're so young. I used to, have people tell me, slow down, what are you? And I'm like, before you know it, time goes by. And so at the end of the day, having this wealth of knowledge here, I want you guys to give one or two just quick, what is it, and we can start over back with Lee if you want, but what is it that you wish you would have known then? Set us free up in here now. Justin already talked about church. I will do a collection plate situation. What is something that really can help someone in here have a breakthrough? That 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that you all experienced or that has worked or that didn't work. Hey, put yourself out there. We'll love it. That didn't work. What's that thing that really has helped you, take it to the next level and be successful, and maybe you wish you would have done more of that earlier, or you wish you would have not done that and done something a little bit different?
All right, so I actually have two pieces, and one is a quick story.
Quick, because I'll cut you off.
Very quick. But the first one, my piece of advice would be everything that you need to succeed is already within yourself. So sometimes you come to these events and you want to learn so much from other people and how they did this and how they got there. But if you really reflect on yourself and understand what your true talents are, everything that you need and to thrive and to do what you need to do is within you. So just check in with yourself. And then the other thing that I would say is strive for balance. At one point, I was actually diagnosed with lupus nephritis because I was doing way too much. And lupus nephritis is something that is not curable. So I just had to really take a moment to step back from the day-to-day and all the things that I had going on and really focus in on my health. And I just want to say, now I'm officially cured from lupus and there's no cure. So just strive for balance.